Hey, what's up guys? Markel here, starting this video off with a short vlog using the Insta360 Go2. And I'm gonna throw a photo up right now to show you how much light you need in an environment like this. Although I have the lights on up top, you still need a lot of light for these little sensors. That's why it's best to shoot these outdoors. But as you can see with this vlog, you can do it indoors. Now I'm using my iPhone here to monitor to see what it actually looks like through the app. And I will tell you, this is one of the best apps out of all action cameras. There's nothing even close to what the Insta360 app can do. But with that being said, guys, let's get this video started. Okay guys, so yeah, that whole clip was shot just on this little camera with this tripod stand. And to give you the true sense of the size of this camera, that is the camera itself, okay? And I primarily just use it with this necklace. And I'll show you guys real quick how I put that on, a much closer view of looking at it. And that magnet is pretty strong. Now I mainly wear it outside the shirt, just like that on top. There are some people though who would rather take that magnet, and it shows in their, their little tutorial that they have on YouTube that you're supposed to take this and put it underneath your shirt to hide this part. I don't hide it. I just sit it right on top because I want this magnet to get to its strongest point without having anything in between like these shirts. But I'm happy walking around with it like that. And the friends that I have with me, when they're using it, I prefer they use it like that because I want it to have its strongest point. But after a year of use and using it in different places, it's been in different types of climate, whether I was in Santa Fe in the heat, in Guadalupe at night when it's much cooler, taking it underwater, taking it in the rain, having it outside the car, using this magnetic strip here on the back to stick it to the car and just let it do its own thing. Remote control it from the case, the charging case here, or from the app on my cell phone. This little camera has been great, but it's definitely not perfect. I don't want anyone to think that this is a perfect camera because it does have its drawbacks. I mentioned some of that in my last update that I did on this camera 6 months ago, which is memory card and download, transferring the footage from this to a cell phone. That's going to depend on how long you have your clips. You have the option of 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, or if you have a POV drone, you can go up to 5 minutes, I believe. But I haven't been to that setting in a while. They may have updated it since I last looked at it. But I mainly stick between 30 seconds and a minute of footage. Now the max amount of footage I was able to put on this before the battery died, I can normally get 40 1-minute clips, 40 of them, so that's 40 minutes of 1 minute clips at 1440p, which is 2K, 50 frames per second on pro mode, okay? Before the charger, the bat, everything is dead, I can get 40 minutes. That's well enough for me. I try to normally stick between 25 to 30. I never try to go to 40. And that's because it takes a very long time to download that footage. Because normally you want to go in, I use the color plus in the app to bring it more vibrancy, to make it more vibrant with the color, and trim the clips to where I want them, and that takes a long time. So what I would recommend for anyone who has this and they get frustrated sometimes with downloading the footage is to plug this in while you're downloading. Plug in your phone as well, because it's gonna take time. That's the one thing that I really don't like about it, is that transfer speed, which is why I prefer to use this now more than using this. Because this one, it works the same way. I can pull it apart from the charging case here that has a memory card in the back. I can stick this on, this will start charging, and it'll transfer it to the memory card. So that's one step I can skip of trying to take it to my phone. Now you can download it to your phone if you choose to, but I just find that when I'm out and I'm shooting clips, if I do it that way with the Osmo Action 2, by the way, that's what that camera was, it just works better that way for me. Even with the GoPro, you know, you got a memory card inside the GoPro and you got changeable batteries. This has changeable batteries. This back battery here, they're just expensive, but you could buy another one and change it. Whereas this camera, there's no exchangeable batteries. It is what it is, and then you just have to charge it. The other two, you do have that option with the memory card and changing the batteries. Those are the drawbacks, man. So it is not perfect. When it comes to overheating, will this camera overheat or can it overheat? It can overheat very easily. As I mentioned before, I normally do short, quick clips, but I don't do a bunch of them in succession. If you do, I would say 5 or more in succession, trying to get like 10 1-minute clips, all just right after the next, right after the next. This little camera will heat up, it will overheat. This light will turn not blue, but red, letting you know it's hot. What you have to do at that point is leave it alone, let it cool itself off, put it back in the charging case, okay? Let it cool down, put it somewhere cool, and it'll be fine after you do that, but it will. All these cameras, okay? All these action cameras overheat, all of them. I don't care which one you got. If you're running it for a long period of time, there's not a lot of airflow. If you're just walking with it, or you're standing still like I'm recording right now and you're blogging with it, and you're going as long as I'm going on this camera right now, it will overheat. All of them do. There's no perfect camera. Even the mirrorless camera I'm using right now, it has a limit. My ZV-1, it has a limit. You're asking these tiny cameras that's processing a lot of power to make these images, and you're not having any air movement, they are going to overheat. There's an upcoming video coming on this one, which is the DJI Osmo Action 2, which is my favorite camera at this point. But other than that, guys, I would say if you're looking at purchasing this camera, this is a good buy. I would just say buy the 64 gig model instead of buying the 32 gig model they originally came out with, which is this one. They made another model that has 64 gigs, and I think it's about $30 more to get the 64 gig version instead of buying the 32 gig version. But that's it, guys. Hey, I appreciate everybody watching as always, and until the next time, guys, I'm out. Peace.